Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Vilmonic. Oop, let's get the game up. There we go. This is our third day with this, and we had a huge breakthrough yesterday. We've got omnivores. We got critters. What's is okay with eating critters? And that's awesome. Despite all of my best efforts over on the east side, it took a whole lot of leaving them the heck alone for it to happen. So that's a thing. Today, I would like to follow up on my wild and wacky plan to try to get this section of map from north to south to have a whole spectrum of life. You guys will recall, or you won't, you're being informed for the first time, that this is one of our last remaining herbivores. And it only gets drier, ending in stone down south. It's a real rough section of town. I think there's enough food for these guys to be successful. We've got a few semi-permeable membranes on the west side to really let them range out and forage. I'm a little worried about these guys out-consuming their environment, but I don't think there's a lot. Let me take a look at my stat sheet for you, Volvox, real quick. So, we started with one species, we have 11 living ones, and I have extincted 269 species under my care. We have had at least 4 mass extinction events, and most recently, we have started developing a preponderance of omnivorous critters. So we're seeing them turn on each other. So this guy is getting nice and irradiated. I hope that doesn't end poorly for him. But he's also moving to like drier and drier country. I hope it doesn't kill him. We'll see. Push him down into the wet. He's trying. He's starved to death. They're making attempts. And I think that they are largely stable up here. I would also like to check in on some of the other places that I have seeded with life a while back. We got a few eggs in our pockets too, so maybe we can expand that even. The wobbly scene epic. Yeah, that's about right. So this area used to have some creatures last stream that were very sluggish. They were basically Ents. Also today we're going to be winding down with a New Belgium. What are you? Aside from dead. Interesting. So this area used to be just completely wrought with very moist mushrooms. And we're not seeing much of that now. The anims have really defeated the wettest of fungals. They took advantage of that food source, and it died out. And that's probably when we got the shift to herbivorous creatures. We still have our amphibious omnivores over here on the west end, farther out, but like that central area has been just totally ransacked. Which, you know, it sucks to be them. Oh, look at these little eye-beam cuties. So once again, we're starting to see smaller and smaller life developing over here. I'm not sure what causes that yet. Oh, the zombie-looking guy? That is a zomb. Zombs will attack the player and inflict zombness upon you. And they have their own unique set of mechanics that maybe we'll explore later. It has been heavily hinted by the developer of this game, Mark, that they have some very interesting behaviors while they're swarming. It's sort of my intention to get to carnivores and unleash the zombs, because that creates its own kind of feedback loop of sorts, of stress and anger and violence. And, I mean, who doesn't think that's interesting? Everybody loves a little bit of stress, anger, and violence. I know I do. For now, though, I think I want to start sort of expanding some of these biological experiments. We're letting the east and west sort of run unchecked. But right now, we've got this highland up here that is dry to very dry. To the point that some of these fungals will not even grow. Yeah, you can see that those withered and died immediately. And you can also see that some of these fungals are growing very quickly for the land that they are installed upon. It's definitely a thing. Let's see what we got. It's time to start cleaning up some of this mess, I think. Let's remove a bunch of these inhibiting factors right here. Because the west side of this is very, very dry. Almost obscenely so. We've had Cane Wave on here, and he has espoused a couple of times the idea that we should treat this more like an actual environment. So I think we're going to try to make an art piece today, since that's completely out of line with the way that my channel works typically. Oh, there we go. So we did that for a while. We coaxed some very dry boys out of a project called Fight Club Island early on. We had speciation. Well, we've got a little bit of that going on. Let me hit the pause button and let's take a look at our the way our life has split off. So over here on the way west end, we're beyond a mountain range. Can I scroll around with this? No, I can't. I can only zoom 2, I guess. So we're beyond a mountain range. We're beyond a pretty fertile like plateau. I would almost call it like tundra. And we have these amphibious creatures right here. We've got these little cactus guys and these little dollop boys with their antenna. And then down south, you know, we've got some more subdivisions. But then over here in the east... Oh, come on. I know you're in here somewhere. There we go. Over on the east, we've got these, like, cat-looking fast guys. Let's see. I don't know if these guys are omnivorous or not. I don't think they are. We've got this large, wide, omnivorous guy with his tall, striding legs. Wait a minute. Where's my boys up north? I know you're in here. Unless they all died. You better not have all died, you jerks. I think they might have all died. Oh! I think they all died. Hang on, we gotta go investigate. From the time where I left the east side, did we lose all of our guys up here? They all decide they couldn't make it? Yeah, they can't make it. This is apparently completely unlivable, despite all the food and moisture and dry land that you could easily migrate to. I'm not having a lot of luck with these constructed environments. And I'm not... Who is texting me? People are contacting me on Facebook, and I don't know why. What is this? I'm sorry, folks. Sure. Obnoxious. Anyway. There we go. Alright. So this is sort of preemptively a failure. The only thing that is thriving over on this side is our herbivore. I feel like this incredibly dry land that the fences are going down on is sort of an inhibitant enough for the region. Because we've got this stable sort of landscape for these guys down here. I think these guys are herbivorous? Yeah, these are herbivores. And they have no idea what could come down and hit them from the north at basically any time. And down south, we just have an absolute Mad Max wasteland. I really want these guys to succeed. The Pulharum. It's entirely possible that the radiation messed them up. Well, there's plenty of ecological pressures. We just have to do it so gradually that we don't, you know, ruin everything. Which is a thing I've been doing with some regularity. These guys were part of an experiment to try to make a more moist kind of creature try to adapt to a more dry sort of locale across the way. And I think it's still kind of working, but their perception is not really letting them see across the dry land. I wanted to make them walk more. But I think we're starting to get them into a place where they are comfortable. And that's unacceptable. We can't have this. Let's go dump a bunch of garbage in the ocean. I know I've got more trash in my pockets. There it is. I don't need any of that, right? For beverages? No, it's looking like no. Yeah, the obligate carnivory. I think what we need is we need an even more impressive food shortage. Oh no, we're just kind of losing creatures again. We're having another ebb in the waxing and waning of food sources. Don't stop eating your young. Fuck, man. Every creature that I grow just wants nothing more than to eat its own children. It's driving me nuts. Oh, once again, we're getting those very, very strong sightline omnivores. These guys have rediscovered the food up here. We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna drastically change this environment. Just tremendously. This is going to have sweeping impacts on the fungals as a food source. There we go. Now, we have really expanded the marshland here. And I'm really hoping... What's this? Distro. Hydro. Metabo. So these guys don't need very fertile soil. They don't need a lot of water. And they populate a shload. Whereas these guys need a lot of water. They're very big. They're very moist. Cannibalism is definitely a viable strat in this game. Because our end goal is to end up with carnivores. But we gotta keep these pressures on. We've still got a lot of omnivores. Maybe some prey species will do them some good. Maybe that's exactly what we need to introduce. Some predators to the environment. To kind of keep that tension going. Yeah, because that guy's an omnivore. Oh no, I got another herbivore in here. Alright. Where's my shovel at? We're gonna... I got bit. Cause a lot of herbivores? Well, we've got omnivores, which is like the next step. Yeah. Well, that's happening on its own. At the end of last night, we had... Gosh, I think 2 herbivores left on the entire map. One in like the far east and like one in the not so far east. Like the west end of the map was entirely omnivorous. It was really radical. I think right now though I want to make some beverages. We're gonna go around feeding these to critters. See if we can't use that to influence them in some ways. Yeah. Yes, I am definitely spooning this water into my pockets, Fox. I don't know what that is. You have exceeded my science word ability. I want to cut this in half with a river. Oh, I think we just got a full beverage right there. Oh, we sure did. We got 12 beverages. Revolt soda. It may make us unpopular. I don't know what it does. It may introduce, like, stress on an anim. There we go. Hey, we dug up a second shovel. How cool is that? This game is Vilmonic. Vilmonic is a 2D life simulation, not really a god game, because you don't have a tremendous amount of control. It's a really bizarre concept. Like, I've been doing this for 3 days, and I have been, thus far, completely incapable of making a satisfactory elevator pitch for the whole thing. But it's just fantastic. I'm loving every minute of it, frankly. I keep coming back to it and getting lost in it and staying up way too late because of it. Now, we have, for the past few evenings, had the luck of having Mark on with us. And I don't know if that will continue into tonight, because he's a busy guy. He's making a video game. But if he turns up, then you'll be able to talk at him directly through me. Honestly, I think the best pitch that I've got for this so far is that if you're a fan of Adventure Time, this game is exactly the sort of thing that you could see Princess Bubblegum using to try to simulate new and interesting changes to candy life on Ooh. I mean, you can do that. I'm definitely gonna steal your credit card info, but the worst I'm gonna do with it is put you down for $1 a month on the Patreon. Like, I'm not a monster, I'm just a criminal. That's a bomb! I like that the screen shakes when you dig one of those up. This game is in early access. It's at version 0.3, but according to Vilmonic, Mark, Play My Weird Game Vilmonic developer, they are going to 1.0 very quickly. Oh, I have maxed out dirt. I cannot put any more dirt in my pockets. Oh, and now it won't let me dig anywhere. Okay. We're going to 1.0. They're taking it live. And the fun should continue. Yo, you made it, my dude. Welcome back. I'm stealing some ideas from your screenshots that you shared with us last time. I am definitely oh, look, they're little crab boys now. Oh, he died. Oh, my crab boy died. Oh, he's still crabby though. Oh, he's crabby and he's a fighter. He won. He's a winner. Do you own it now? Excellent. So you can share your critters with me. There's like a creature capture thing. Oh, don't be in front of the mushroom. That's not what I want. Also, don't be in the water. There we go. Got him. I'm even in the photo. How cute. export that. I love that it Instagram filters it for you. I'm posting this one in the Discord because I think he's a cutie patootie. So, if you're looking for a copy of this and you're thinking to yourself, man, that's great, but I don't really want to spend $10 on this, I'm also doing an art contest. And we are accepting, like, all submissions, any kind. Just throw them at us. Ooh. Yeah, Canewave, you can get on voice. That's cool. I guess I'm not even on in my on-air participants booth. That would probably be confusing. Yeah, I can bring you in. You are the resident expert, after all. It's been really interesting having two different people who have differing ideologies about the game and for the game on air at the same time. So, Mark is a person who sort of does what I do and just has don't stop eating your young. God, this is why every species is dying out, you jerks. Anyway, it's been really interesting having the two back. Oh, it is a present. Because Lionwave has been, or Canewave has been doing these really bespoke, really specific environments, and you can see them in the Wobbly Python Discord if you're interested in that. You gotta scroll up a little bit now, but not too far. But Mark just kind of lets it do its own thing and, like, revels in the beauty of his own creation. So it's really interesting to have the two of them discuss the way that things do and should work. I like it. Maybe you'll also like it. I'm gonna bring Canewave on now. Are you in here? Can I hear you, bud?
Yo!
There you are, Frangulon. I'm stealing your idea. I am working on this environment here, and I'm making it more moist, north to south. We've got a lot of food to the west of it, because none of it is evolved for the water. But, like, I want a river to run through this. You know, even if only for so far. That's a wrapper you got going there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Cool, thanks.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get settled in here. I didn't know exactly when you were gonna finally bring me into this.
Sorry. I should have given you a little more warning. You know me, I like to ramble and then take rash action.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back advising again for another evening. As Wobbly already said, yeah, it's actually kind of funny that the Vilmonic developer himself is sort of casual in how he plays the game, even. So, having me here has been the, like, serious perspective, and Mark's even, like, last night, I was like, I'm not the expert. Mark was like, I don't know, I think you're the expert compared to me, or something. I can't remember exactly what he said.
Yeah, no, that was when he pointed out that, like, yeah.
Constantly, buddy.
I don't think about how this works at all, ever. Like, I just let it do.
But, it's definitely really interesting working with rivers in this game. They present a lot of opportunity to create these, like, rich, thriving environments in some ways, but then they also can act as a barrier, which can be really interesting. And so actually, the game that I've been playing with my river, I keep having all wildlife die out on one side of the river. Like, it's happened like 3 times.
Yeah.
And, like, the other side will still be, like, thriving.
Huh.
And there are definitely places where the river is narrow enough to cross. And so, like, it is possible that the western side of the river would repopulate itself eventually, but it just doesn't seem to be happening very fast in these situations. So it's kind of interesting how when you create these things like that, it's like you're creating something that's, like, positive to some of your creatures and negative to others.
Yeah, it seems like no matter what you do, like, not everybody will be happy. This game is very Sims-ish in that way. Oh, I was gonna make beverages. I keep sitting down to, like, make beverages, and I put the crafting window away, and then I just totally forget about it. Just completely. I could sit around feeding these things fungi burgers, too. It only takes an entire spectrum of fungals to do that.
Oh, hey, Mark jumped in the green room.
Oh yeah, let's bring him up here. I am really enjoying having Mark on. I feel like I keep talking over him though, so I'll try to do that less tonight. Mark, you are live with us. You are one of the gang once again.
With me?
Welcome. Oh, I need a red thing, red wall. I heard you for a minute, Mark.
Did we get Mark? I heard him for a second.
Can you hear me now?
There you are, handsome.
Here we are.
Welcome back. Some things have changed already. That far east section has already died completely, but our omnivores are going pretty strong. We were up to like 60, and now we're down to 30, so we're definitely in the middle of that bang boom roller coaster of species.
Look at that cinder block guy.
That art contest is still going. If people want to draw cinder blocks with legs, I would be all about it. Let's snag a photo of one of them. Where's my camera? Quick, Ma, get the... Oh no! The omnivores murdered each other!
Much violence.
If anybody is looking for these photos later, they're showing up in the Wobbly Python Discord. If you're not a part of that, feel free to click the button down below and become a part of it. You can influence this project and other projects that we've got going on, including the Drawing Circus, which is happening this Saturday night. I've got Alexis Draws and Magic Jaffet, and I am definitely going to make them draw sentient cinder blocks at least once.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh yeah, this area is once again devoid of life. It's a really hard space to adapt to despite all the food.
Well, there's very little water, and then there's a lot of inhospitable obstacles in various directions.
Yeah, you sort of can't get away from it. Which is why I'm trying to make this river a thing. Although the fungals that are here, you can see like they're already adapting to be able to see farther. The fungals are very dry, and the river is very wet. So we've got these critters that are having to walk a fair distance back and forth. I mean, they're trying. Yeah, I think the metabolism might be a little bit high for the Amdoom Hackumxis. God, that is a mouthful. I thought about this while I was at work today, Mark. Can you tell us more about the naming patterns for this game? How much significance does it really put on the function of the creature when it comes to the way that it is naming?
You know, the names are actually derived also from the genes. So, what I did is I made little descriptions of kind of what each gene means, and then I chopped that up. Depending on how strong that gene is expressed, you get more of that descriptor in the name. And then it's just kind of, you know, I put the Latin suffix on there.
That's just incredible. I mean, I have to say, there's just so many things like that in this game that have that kind of detail that just really helps sell the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, I am kind of wondering, though, when we're going to hit the day where I ask a question and then Mark just grabs me by the shoulder, shakes me, and goes, "It's the genes, darn it, the genes!"
Which a lot, it's true. But then there is that whimsy thing, you know, there's all that, you know, there's definitely that whole area of pure whimsy that's just comes out of nowhere.
There we go, that's what I was looking for this whole time. One of the things that I have been, it's just been driving me up the wall, the quadcopter that keeps showing up. Vulcan, welcome back for round 3. I think there's a solid 5 of us now, if you count Mark, that have got this game and are rolling their own little populations as we go.
We're gonna have to start
Yeah,
swapping
that quadcopter.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you were saying something about the quadcopter, Mark?
And that's an example of kind of, you know, some of that whimsy. It also kind of, it's there to bring some of the story in. There's this whole backstory to what's going on, and I try to show it subtly through things you dig up,
Like all the bombs. Oops.
There's loads of plastic water bottles. You get these flyovers by the creepy quadcopters. So yeah, there's a whole story that.
Creatures are getting damper
I don't want to
again.
necessarily spoil it with so many new game owners here in the stream, but that quadcopter also serves at least one other purpose that I know about.
Ooh.
We haven't seen that other purpose yet in this game.
We may see it. I'm trying to decide whether or not.
Depends on if you cause any more major ecological disasters, maybe.
I feel like I'd have to do that on a pretty impressive scale at this point.
Yeah,
So
there's an abundance of life now. So
I'm doing pretty good at making sure that the world has life. I'm just doing a bad job of influencing it in directions that might be perceived as interesting. Like I'm having fun with it, but at the same time, like there's a few monsters that I have not been able to coax into creation yet. Oh, I was gonna make red beverages, or no, a big shovel. That's what it was, because I have a spare shovel now. Where you at? There you are. Nope, not doing. All right.
Oh, Mark, don't take Volvox's question seriously. He's a troll.
it's not actually far off.
It's really not.
No, I know, but we actually know that guy too well, so I had to.
Yeah, he's a super old friend of mine. Like from, man, some of my most formative years. So I'm glad he is here helping me like take a look at this and is receptive to the things it has to teach us.
Bought a copy of the game about 10 minutes ago, so really if he's so curious, you could just
Fire it up,
experience.
figure it out. Yes, over on the right-hand side, you can see the little picture of a man. Click him, and that will guide you.
You should show.
Yeah.
Don't just tell.
Well, I'm trying to make beverages, okay?
I know.
We also have like the Giga Shovel that I just made. I dubbed the Earth Mover. I was gonna call you something more crass, but then I decided to scale that back.
The Giga Shovel is good, especially when you
All
make
right.
a river.
Let's stop being like a marshmallow in MC Hammer Pants. Oh yeah, there we go. Is that a pompadour? Did you add a, you did. Oh, that's awesome.
We're there.
Oh, but how can we look cool? Oh yeah, there we go. No, we gotta have like a strong stance. We gotta have the kind of stance that like gets articles in the newspaper about you. Yeah, there we go. Give him a blue shirt because that's what cool guys wear. Yeah. And some bright red pants.
Yeah, that's actually a great comment, Vulcan. I'm not Mark, but a lot of games it's like you either have good full screen or good windowed mode. It is nice that this game actually works well in both.
Oh yeah, yeah. My day job was a UI engineer, so
Oh.
it's some of the most boring stuff for me to program when I'm working on a game. I kind of had fun with it, so. Get away from that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna bury this tire. Okay. So you own that. I mean, this whole game is just super good. Like, I haven't really found a section of this game that I would really consider to be super weak in any way. so far as like exploring the UI and the actual functionality of it, there's nothing where I look at it and I go, man, I wish that this were easier to do or anything. Like, it's very accessible.
Cool, very cool. Some good comments you had were, being able to search through the notepad to find certain species characteristics. I think that's great feedback.
Oh yeah, I would definitely like a little bit of that. Because right now, like, you can see them, but I can't see sort of like the way their brain is wired, which I assume is because it changes from individual to individual. But, being able to just tag all the omnivores and all the herbivores, it'd be nice.
That's the main thing, is an easy way to kind of find those omnivores. That's one thing we were having a hard time with, having to go through that whole list to find the omnivores. Well, now they're almost all omnivores, so...
I'm hoping we can get worked up to carnivores.
Hey, I did warn you that often, once you get the omnivores going, that's all you got.
It's true. They often become pretty successful.
Ooh. Oh, in the... Oh, yeah. That is something... I'll agree with Vulcant on that. A thing that I would like to see, maybe, is a more thorough description of what the abbreviations mean when you're binocularsing really anything. Right? Because you've got, like, their whole genetic makeup down on the bottom, and you've got a word for it. And the word, if you're familiar with, like, English and, like, Latin roots, is pretty good. Like, metabo, you can probably make some assumptions that this has to deal with metabolism. Senso is pretty clearly, like, sensory things. But, like, moho, mostro, and motho, like, that's beyond me, unfortunately. So it becomes a little difficult for me to rapidly figure out what it means without, watching a few creatures go extinct.
Fine. I originally kept that kind of cryptic, and I thought people would kind of enjoy diving in and trying to figure that one out, but those moho and those are actually brain-related genes, and I think that it's a little too complex to just kind of figure out.
I can say, when I save those photos, it saves them in the game, so I can re-export them. Oh, that's super cool. Because right now, the easiest way that I found to get a photo is to use the export function, and then just right-click, copy image, and you can paste it straight into Discord. Like, you don't have to save it or upload it on Imgur or anything.
Right, I think some people even just drag them directly if you have two windows.
Oh, yeah. I've got the whole second monitor thing going on, and ooh, it's good. Yeah,
So, Mark, I had a new suggestion for your game. Actually, after thinking about your plan for statues, I realized the most incredible thing would be to be able to make statues of anims, and then I could finally keep track of eggs.
Oh.
So you would place it near like a crate? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like a
I could have,
sign.
like, a chest with like a statue next to it of the anim that's what's in there.
Write down. That's a really cool idea. All right.
I'm soaking up what you're squirting out there, yeah. I think I need roads.
Plus, it would just be awesome, like, you could immortalize, like, some of your, like, OG anims into statues that just, like, gaze upon them.
If you were particularly industrious, you might even be able to visually express your entire genetic tree. But you would have to be hopping.
I had a plan to really kind of play that tree up more and be able to have an inline version of those anims.
Oh, like that famous, like fish to man illustration.
Ooh, that's actually kind of cool.
Like if I could
I was
just
just
export
thinking
an
about, like,
image
a
of
little-
each of these.
Yeah, like I was thinking just a little thumbnail right in there. A lot of that gets into kind of a lot of design stuff because there's in there. So
I definitely think
there's a rabbit hole for me.
the more in-depth you make the ability to sort of sort through and explore the genetic history of your island, it's kind of can't really hurt the game, you know?
Oh man, the question has finally happened. I have been waiting to ask this one and get information about it. Mark, how much Dwarf Fortress have you played? Yeah.
I haven't played Fortress, but I have read loads of people's write-ups about their experiences with it, and I love it. And that's that's a huge influence. Just the fact that it's a world that kind of builds its own history and its own story. It's amazing.
Question 2: are you familiar at all with Boat Murdered?
Of course he must.
Okay, that's exactly the story I was talking about. Boat Murdered is one of my favorite things in the world. Yeah.
Oh man, if there's a Something Awful goon out there in the audience, like, yeah, no, I'm waiting on that one. I want to see a Succession game of Vilmonic.
I have to say, I actually think you would find some of the deeper aspects of Dwarf Fortress interesting, though, in terms of how he creates the game, because he actually has expressed things I think are similar to how you feel about your game, in that, like, he'll do things like create a new area in the Dwarf Fortress world. Like, I remember when he talked about in one interview adding sewers to the human cities, and that, like, all these creatures started moving into the sewers. He didn't tell any of them to do that, you know?
Right.
They just moved in because they saw the environment and they thought, this suits our needs. And so, like, yeah, that kind of emergent stuff. I thought of, so I thought of Dwarf Fortress already with this game many times.
I was trying not to mention it just because I don't want to scare people away from this game, because Dwarf Fortress is a really imposing thing, but Vilmonic is really accessible. Like, I've had ecological collapses, but none of them have been really damning in any way. If that makes any sense. There's nothing that we haven't bounced back from.
Yeah, the interfaces are sort of on the opposite ends of the spectrum, let's just say that much.
Oh.
As in, Mark, you have an interface.
True. Yeah, I wanted this game to play on multiple levels like that. I wanted it to be incredibly easy. I've had a few friends' kids play the game, and they love just the kind of crafting aspect without even caring about the creatures. So to really have this depth that if you wanted to, you could dive in and go crazy.
Alright, the Giga Shovel is really cool. It is destroying this landscape. I clicked once with it, and I think we went from, like, mid-ground straight to regular water depth. Wait, what am I doing?
But you're not going to get much treasure with that one, though.
No, I mean, there's been a couple of times here where I'm trying to get water into my pocket, and I have not wanted the treasure. So
yeah, no, there's a lot of times you don't want that. I mean, it's just all junk.
Oh man, it's so. I had the experience playing this game the other day where I was dragging a radioactive waste barrel over to my containment area for such things, and then I'm going back over and I'm collecting the radioactive waste and filling it back in. And while I'm doing that, I end up with 2 more radioactive waste barrels.
Yeah, there's just so much trash under the ground. It's like it just buries and we do it too as we play. We just bury stuff we don't want. It's kind of the easy way. Yeah, that's definitely story right there.
I was having a discussion with somebody about the Zoms a while back, just kind of related to the stream, but unrelated to what we've got going on. Oh, this is so much faster. Okay, so now we can easily check out our east and west sides. I wonder how dry the road is, though. Like, is that gonna really affect my anims?
Dry. It is gonna affect things. Everything you do affects things.
Oh my god, what have I done?
That road definitely will affect things.
I think I mostly put it through reasonably... No, there's a huge pond here. Alright. What was I doing? There were more antics that I was up to. You know, I haven't found a single thing that I need to hit with this axe. Oh, this is cool! Alright, folks, so I've got a single finger here. I'm gonna put on my keyboard. It's gonna be to the
actually,
right.
I won't lie. Mark, what is the purpose of the axe? Because I really don't know.
I'm gonna hit it to the left, and I'm not gonna let up. It automatically tracks the road. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in a game like this. Like, that is so nice to not have to, oh, change the angle. Although I just did that too, and it also works. Like, Mark, you have thought of everything. This is unreal.
The steering was, you know, I was like, oh, roads be cool, but it should really be useful.
Oh, this is so good. Nope, they died.
Some crazy, you know, figure eights and stuff like that, where you can make some kind of fun racetracks with that too.
I gotta make a roundabout. Oh, but at the T, he doesn't know where to go, so I would have to dig up a little part about. Let's do it.
Cross through also.
No, dang it. I really like that.
Figure eight. That's kind of fun.
All right, I've got about 4 more bits of dirt here. I think I can manage that with just this. Oh no, I'm gonna have to dig up a little bit of my road. That's fine. Oop, oh. Small worlds are hard. Also, there's a tutorial in this game, which is super nice. Oh man, roads. Every time I like try playing with a new facet of this game, it becomes my new favorite part of the game for a while.
Worlds where everything is just these kind of crazy twisted roads where you can just keep motoring around, and it's ridiculous.
Just at no point does it come to a T.
Volcan, small worlds are hard because trying to balance smaller ecosystems is much more difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially.
So, it's
like a really big world, you can just let it run, and it's probably not going to die out.
It is the difference between the west and east sides of our map here. The west side being an unchecked wonderland of life blossoming both floral and in fauna, as opposed to the east side, where I keep trying to balance the ecosystem myself, rather than having the creatures adapt organically, and I keep causing tremendous extinction events.
And then also the tendency, I mean, like Wobbly is just describing, he has an east and west major section to his map. The tendency for most players is to want to divide up the map somewhat into different areas, rather than just have one giant biome. So that also, you know, if you do one giant biome, you have a slightly easier chance of making a small or medium map work well. But most people don't want to do that. They want to divide stuff up, which is natural in this game.
It's really interesting the way that this game... So, Minecraft, which is another game that began as a thing of, like, simple rules all playing together... Mark Brown has a word for this, and I forget what it is. It's not like sandbox game. It's not procedural, I don't think. But basically the idea is that the mechanics of the game are derived by sequences of simple rules all working together and against each other, and that's what you've got here. But
you need to be looking for the word emergent.
Yeah, emergent. That is the word. That is exactly the one. Thank you. Yeah, emergent behavior game. Mark Brown, I think. I don't know if he coined that, but it's the one he's been using in a few of his videos. And this game is really taking that concept to an extreme. And it's beautiful. Like, I'm really having a great time with that, just in general.
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly the core concept of the game.
Oh, look at this guy. He's real wet, but he's real tall. He's almost got like a root bulb.
Talk about this one that looks like a hookah.
Yeah, that one. Maybe that's why he's so attractive. Let's feed some of these green beverages to our big boy here. Yeah, he's reasonably irradiated now from all that Mountain Dew.
Oh, so you figured that one out, huh?
Yeah, I figured out what that one does. The other ones, I need to just sit down and craft them. Like, I'm trying to figure out what it is that stops me from making them. I think it's like the 3rd level ingredient. I think he died before he could produce an offspring, which is unfortunate.
Radiation is a double-edged sword there. 'Cause it does sicken them. Those beverages too.
There we go. Everything here's just a little radioactive. Just a bit. Oh, I haven't seen a purple card. Oh, these ones just are aggressive. These Ochchasis. We might see carnivores today, folks.
I wouldn't get
Their
too
motion
excited.
scores are their motion scores are nearing all positive there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vulcan is asking about the little bars
Oh,
that appear next to creatures.
are you talking about the ones that move or the ones that do not, Vulcan?
Yeah.
Because I can
Yeah,
explain both by this point.
I think he's talking about the ones that go up and down. I thought one of us should maybe take the opportunity to re-explain creature brains, since we have a couple of viewers who haven't been here much yet.
So the moving ones are they are the active stresses and factors on the anim themselves. So in order, you have the top bar, which is nutrition, and you can see that it reduces when the creature is not consuming fungals or other creatures. Hydration is the amount of moisture that is present inside of the creature's body. Fertility is, as far as I can tell, sort of like the chance that the anim is going to pop out an egg, which you want to have happen, and you want them to stop eating their own eggs, you jerkuses. Stress is a really interesting one, because it seems to mean a lot of things. For a very aggressive creature like this Amdoom Ochchasis, motion stresses it, and it will attack those things, or it will try to avoid those things depending on the sub-brain behaviors down below. Development is like the age within the lifespan of the creature, and he died, so I got my bars gone. And the radiation is how much green goo have you exposed it to lately, which in the form of Mountain Dew can be very much. Mark, was I close?
Yeah, you're exactly right on with those. Yeah, stress is very much kind of like the health meter. It's all the way up to the top to 100%. The creature will die.
Oh, these little guys, the Anini are also aggressive. We got a very angry West Coast. It's like the regular West Coast.
I've been asking though about the little brain bars that appear after you right-click on an anim, that are like kind of surrounding it.
Oh, those are the deciding factors for when it is going to move next. It will go north, south, east, or west, depending on what need is greatest in those bars. Blue being hydration, green being food, and red being stress. Is it?
It's. I mean, you're very close, but that's not quite.
Yeah, you're very close.
Oh, knock me down then. Like,
that's
inform.
Not quite. I mean, I'm sure Mark could even do a better job than I can do, but...
I'm so confident, though, like, I'm shocked.
But those are, like, basically, the red bar is motion, the green bar is scent, and the blue bar is hydration. So you were on point to that regard, basically.
The motion you had for stress, which is interesting because I knew that would happen because I'm using the same color there as I am with the stress bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I couldn't figure another way around that, kind of from UI standpoint.
I think it's okay. I mean, you can definitely keep looking at it if you come up with some inspiration to make it a little clearer. But I think
Right. The only other thing,
one
maybe
thing
to
that
make
would
it
actually help, though, I
light.
think, is if you maybe color coded the actual brain descriptor with those same colors, so that you can like people would more easily match up motion in the brain with motion in the bar, maybe.
Yeah, I'm writing that one down too. That's a great idea.
I'm glad that this is really productive for you too. Like one of the things that I was a little worried about with like having you on the stream so frequently was like the idea that it would cut into like the development of the time. But the fact that you're taking active feedback from us and from my audience is just super cool. Like it's really, really nice to kind of feel like you are sort of this formulative entity while you're doing this.
Yeah, no, I love interacting with people and getting their feedback. I've put in so much, so many feature requests from users. So I
Up to
definitely
and
do that all
including
the
my
time.
pompadour.
Works, yeah.
Oop. No, I don't want triangle hair.
Exactly. That little heads-up display that you're seeing on those creatures is just showing essentially showing their current desires, you know, and the direction that those bars are going, where that creature is where it's kind of pulling or pushing that creature. So you know we can see when if there's a blue bar pointing away from the creature, it water in that direction.
Yeah, I had really early on. Oh, geez, this might be hard.
And then, of course, those bars correspond to that little brain chart in the creature's full description, which
Exactly.
you know correspond to its need states. So you know, okay, when this creature is thirsty, this is how it responds to stimuli. When it's hungry, this is how it responds to stimuli. And when it's stressed, this is how it responds to stimuli.
This is a game that is requiring of me an amount of attention I haven't had to pay to a game in a while, and I think that's great.
So that's really super. I mean, that's one of another really wanted to inspire observation and experimentation. Very important.
Yeah, we're moistening up some of our like hard, dry spaces while we're talking here. So we ran an entire experiment while we walked away. Like when we went over to the east side, I tried to put a creature down, but the two of them bred so fast they were competing over their own food source and they just killed each other. So I brought them over to this area and I moistened it up a reasonable amount. Because now there's a ton of food, and we can breed these just hardline aggressive animals against each other and have another boom in competition period. And maybe then we can convince one of them to engage in straight predation. So like, I'm still playing that angle. This is still Jurassic Park. I have not found the shitty Jurassic Park with a kazoo soundbite yet. Let's take a look at our things here and see what we've got. We have no herbivores. Herbivores are gone. Wiped from the face. Wow. It is all omnivores. Oh, Vox just had his herbivore, Rekazombat. That's cool. I mean, congrats on having defender anims.
Of course, we all know what happens when you start wrecking zombots.
Oh no, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Nature hath wrought killers. Maybe that will help it develop into a carnivore. Oh, I was telling a story like solidly 20-30 minutes ago, and I wanted to finish it. I was having a conversation with somebody about the nature of the zombs, and somebody was expressing that like the zombs really aren't a threat, and that was a negative thing. And I disagree with that idea purely from the idea that like the zombs aren't so much a threat by nature as they are just like another inhabitant. And it's not up to you to decide whether or not the zomb, like, should or should not be. It's just kind of there, and you have to learn how to be a good neighbor with them. Sometimes that means locking them in a box, you know, for their own good.
Always that means locking them in a box for their own good.
Other times, I don't know, maybe it means whacking them with a hammer. Just pushing them away, letting them roam free and be like a fresh source of prey for your anims. It's not something that we've explored yet because I've kind of disengaged from them as a threat source. But I don't think that that will be forever. I think either by the end of tonight or tomorrow, we're going to re-unleash the zombs and have another zompocalypse. I mean, it led to a lot of danger for my creatures, but at the same time, it also led to a lot of really interesting genetic mutation.
A complete population devastation after unleashing just one zomb. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't just unleash one. That is an inaccurate statement, if not just disingenuous.
It is accurate. You unleashed one zomb, and then that one zomb died.
Yeah, the death of the zomb was kind of the problem, wasn't it?
That's where things went wrong.
Oh wow. Look at what happened to this area after I introduced those eggs. We got like 8 creatures up here and then they're all dead. Because the metabolism just can't keep up. All the fungals are not used to this level of predation.
Well, a big part of your problem is you no longer actually, especially now that you've put the road in, you don't actually have any solid, huge areas of just open pasture anymore, really.
Yeah.
Everything's split up. This little area up here, I mean, it's closed on every side by a dry floor, practically.
You can see, though, that is definitely creating, like, another fresh round of divergence, though. Because up north, we're getting these, like, tall guys. And then down south, we're seeing that things are evolving, like, flatter and wetter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the things that you've done recently, you've put stress and change on the ecosystem, and it's showing.
It's really easy to do something and not think about the full implications of what you're doing. Which goes back to that, like, ecological message that I had about Minecraft, which, for me, was largely an aesthetic one when I was playing that a whole lot, you know, years and years ago. But, like, sometimes, you know, it's real rough to have your decisions be good ones in the long run. Like, sometimes you'll just deface a really cool looking mountainside that you wanted to be a part of so badly, but you'll spoil it. And then other times, like, you will make something for your own convenience and it will follow through and spoil the environment for, like, our little anims here. It's really kind of a video game poetry of sorts. Like, this is part of what got me so excited about this game when I saw it, because, like, I could smell that. Just blood in the water.
So this is part of why I play super large, oversized maps.
So you can really screw it up.
I fence everything in. And then I have my roads, like, the anims never see the road. They only see the most... of my construction they generally see is the edge of the fence.
I mean, on that, I've been learning lessons about that fence too. Like, if an anim thinks that something...
I'm sorry, but the way those water drops look when they hit the ground like that is just really good.
Yeah.
I feel like you were sitting awake, you know, one night, it's like 2 in the morning, you're working on Vilmonic, and you're watching some of those videos of the very, very wonderful Canadian astronaut who did all the, like, weird experiments for, like, live streams. What was his name? Chris Hadfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, watching him muck about with water all over the place.
Those animations were definitely fun, and yeah. Hatfield's videos were the best, so yeah.
This has been a really good game to stream too, because I've been able to keep up on a lot of other stuff at the same time. Like some games like I get behind and like I'm not able to like watch the Discord and like see people posting and things, but like in this one, you know, I can just look over. It's fine. I don't gotta keep, you know, OBS up, make sure it's not unhooking. Like this game is rock solid and super stable. It's very relaxing. Like I've got so little stress doing this. Whoa! Whoa! Look at this absolute unit!
That guy looks like he means some freaking business.
I better take a picture of him before he manages to die of starvation.
Or maybe collect the egg too.
Oh yeah.
Really, really violent when it gets thirsty.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's like super attracted to motion on thirst. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, you're right. Like that's +5. I better not
That's
move
some
around
really
while it's
weird
thirsty.
behavior.
Oh, poop out an egg, my dude.
I think actually, yeah, you kind of missed this, Mark, last night, but when the omnivores first evolved, I noted that this seemed to be the biggest difference in their brain from having, we had been looking at herbivore brains earlier, was that they were, like, a bunch of the omnivores in his game were attracted to motion on thirst. I'm still really, like, interested in how that happened.
Yeah, and it maybe that's a good balance because you know, being violent on thirst, they're not violent all the time. So maybe that's how they're being so successful.
Yeah, I'll let these go. These ones are aggressive, but I want highly aggressive. Like we found a trait to breed, and I'm gonna take him over to like a larger population center. Hopefully.
It also may be worth noting that the omnivores developed out in the West, where water is somewhat scarcer in a lot of areas, and I don't know if that might have affected things at all too. If like water competition was like part of the concern.
That's
a great point.
sort of the problem with it having the key factor of their development being left alone. Like I don't know what caused it to happen.
Interesting thing. You can set up a controlled experiment, and they're hard to kind of keep going, and it's really hard to get things to evolve in interesting ways. But then the Wild West, you let things go, and then the problem is knowing what caused those, you know, those evolutionary changes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we did not catch the moment that the omnivore shift happened. So by the time we got over here, there were like 13 omnivores between like 4 species.
It was real rough.
So
Probably.
it was really cool though, but it was also like there's no way to like really look at these and know how this happened now.
The way that usually those kind of things happen here, and this happens in real life too, is there probably was just one mutation in the brain that the beneficial one, and it just kind of took over that area.
We've got a bunch of boulders and we got a bunch of bottles.
We can walk around with binoculars and look for atoms that have other motion positive relationships and breed those.
Yeah, here's another one that is thirst. I really hope that one that I took over the West Coast does well.
This motion -0.9, if you see motion for hunger higher than -0.9, that's when we should keep reading.
Yeah, find an egg and try to put it in a place which is good. You breed them by sort of picking up eggs and then putting them in a place that you think will lead to their success in the long term.
Anims more or less breed asexually, correct?
Well,
There
until
is
later.
a plan for sexual reproduction, but that's going to be an update in the future. And it may not be really worth it in this game. You can see a lot of the evolution sexual reproduction.
So I gave that one a drink of something, of the orange. Just feel the power. I don't know what it did. Oh, it's just a full heal. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, and with that success comes a whole lot of its own fertility. So I'm gonna bring this egg down here where the food is. Also, I just like the color you are, so you get a drink. Oh, this orange beverage is definitely going to lead to a spike in my ability to control, I think.
So basically, the best way to simply describe the breeding beyond it being just asexual is that the creatures themselves just basically edit the genetic code of their egg based on their own experiences to some extent, something along those lines.
What it is
Like
you know,
environmental factors.
the environment doesn't affect their genes at all. So the only thing that creates the evolution in this game is they take their genetic code, they shove that into an egg that creates a new creature with that identical genetic code, plus a chance of a small mutation.
So, Volvox has a gold idea down here, and I'd like to take it in two directions, because one, I would like to plug the fact that this is definitely coming to Android Mobile. Like, that is confirmed. That has been said. This is going to be able to go with you in your pocket. But two, a Tamagotchi companion application. Like, Vilmonster Rancher, I don't know.
I love the companion app idea. That's pretty cool. I had on my wish list for this game a craftable leash, name tag, and I'm gonna put those off to a possible future. But those were a way to create an in-game pet.
I don't know that they live long enough.
That would make them live forever.
Oh, okay. There's been a couple of times here where I have had a creature, and I'm like, oh, I like you. I'm gonna push you over to where I am, and then just like they die from the pushing process.
They don't live very long. You can get some that live only a few seconds, and those are really kind of fun to watch. Several minutes, but
a thing to note for new players is that you don't count as a point of motion or stress if you're standing still. You can observe freely. Like this guy that I'm watching here, because I really like his color combo. Like, I think he looks really cool. I keep forgetting that I have a camera. I would really love to see some artistic interpretations of these guys too. Like, I know that we're running that competition to like give out a key, but like mostly it is because one, my server and branding is largely about art, and two, I just want to see you draw cute like wet bugs. That's really it.
the drawings too. That on the Discord, there was one little animation that someone did.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Hand-drawn animation.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna click over there and check him out real quick. Don't you dare eat your young! No, no! I looked away for a second and I saw it opening its tremendous mouth to consume. Don't fight each other.
That's the way that you take control.
Yeah, the one for the game. I'm gonna steal it, and we can. Well, no, you should join the Vilmonic one because that's where you're gonna find the people that like know the most about it. I'm not gonna burgle that art. I'm gonna slow my roll there. As much as I really enjoy collecting people that are like creating interesting visual art, like I'm gonna not keep my hands for that one. You can have the exclusive.
Also, contact the artist, and if they want to repost it, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Discord.
Oh yeah, Vulcan's asking for a link to your Discord. You should post that.
Oh yeah. Sure, but let me just grab that real quick.
Volvox made an omnivore in like 30 minutes. How do you feel, Wobbly?
Now no one can see me cry.
You know, also a lot of times it's just purely random. I mean, those mutations are totally random. So you could just luck out and get a mutation in one of the genes for the motion brain. To survive for a while, that's harder.
Oh yeah, we had omnivores at one point. We had like a whole 2 of them, and then they ate each other.
They were also, I mean, your initial omnivores were all kind of questionable, to be honest.
Venus is his first omnivore. Post a picture. Post a picture. Have you crafted a camera yet?
Venus.
Yeah. Post a picture of your Venus in my Discord.
You can also export them as a thing with their genetic code, so other people can drag them into their own games.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, export T Venus and let's get that guy up in here.
Yeah. Let's see how he does with my Apex carnivores. This is Anim Fight Club now.
Careful, because I had someone give me one of their tiny, you know, very safe-looking carnivores, and it killed off a whole population of mine. So, good results. They can be pretty invasive.
Here we go.
Wobbly, do you want an interesting anim from my game so we can show off this creature import action?
Alright.
Wait, did Bobbox get on it that fast?
He posted it on Imgur, and I'm not entirely sure how to upload it. Like, walk me through this, Mark.
As long as you can get that image onto your computer, you can, on Windows at least, you can drag it, I think, directly from the browser into the game.
Really?
Yeah, some people have experienced that. On Mac, you can't do that, so you need to save it to your hard drive first, your download folder, and then drag it in. Wherever your cursor, wherever you drag it to.
I'm not having any luck dragging it from the browser in, but let me try from my hard drive because I already saved it. Oh yeah.
I think you got to be looking at view the image when you're in the browser. Don't view it on the imager.
Oh yeah, like copy of the image address. Well, there he is. We just plunked him right in there. This is him, Tevier Banus. We have got a new genus in the world, and he died.
That is really exciting.
He sucks. Hang on, I'm gonna move him somewhere, maybe with like more food and stuff. Here we go. Let's put him somewhere that maybe he can thrive. No, it doesn't like doing it from Chrome for me, but it'll definitely do it from the browser. So I don't mind saving it. Let's put him there. It put a dead one down. That's cool. Nope, I am just placing corpses. Oh wait, I see. I'm posting the wrong thing. It didn't have any genetic information. That's why he was dying. There we go.
Genetic sludge there.
Sorry, I've got Vilmonic Cuties and Vilmonsters as 2 folders. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, he didn't win the fight, unfortunately. Like he's aggressive, but he's not very robust. You can already see that he's turning green in an attempt to camouflage with this environment.
Full color change.
Wow, their gestation period is very fast. This is definitely not going to explode out and destroy a whole bunch of my ecosystem. Don't eat it.
Really high metabolism.
What is this? Oh, we can't put him on that ground. What?
All right, Wobbly. I posted a anim in your Discord.
Yeah, I'm trying
It's
to.
an omnivore. It's terrestrial. It likes a moderately dry environment, and it's aggressive.
Yeah, those Baenas are, I think, just a little too small. They're not strong enough to compete with the other omnivores there, even though they're reproducing really fast.
Yeah, I think that your omnivores are weak, Vox. Do they even lift?
We've done really well with our the tall creatures we had a few eons ago.
So these other ones, the Tikoi hamanam, these are a species of terrestrial animatroid with poor sensory perception and a fast metabolism for a moderately dry environment and are aggressive. So we got three. Hang on, we gotta take a look at our tree here now, because we've got the Amdooms, which are mine, and then we have the Tikoi hamanam, and then we got whatever that other thing is. Oh no, it's dead again. It is not doing very well in Anim Fight Club.
I sent you another critter
Yeah,
on the
the
Discord.
Tikoi is really cool.
Yeah, it's so flat.
It's been a very successful
Hey, but-
little critter.
Seems like it's doing pretty well.
We've just like opened this whole new door for this game.
It's been one of the most successful omnivores in my environment, for sure.
Alright, I gotta get chat back open here. Yeah, Toffer Strolls. All we have right now are omnivores as well. Literally, we have 24 of them. And we have introduced some species from my friend Canewave's here game, and also Volvox, although his are very weak. Yeah. Volvox is echoing our sentiment from earlier that it'd be very nice to see carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores as their own separate lists.
That's definitely. I need to get that in there. That data view that's in the notepad definitely needs some TLC. So I'll have to have an update add-on to flesh that out some more.
I think it's just sort of a thing where you've encountered a whole bunch of tremendous nerds that really are interested in it.
It's really this feedback is so useful. So.
Well, I'm having a stupid fun amount of time, or stupid fun, like, making it for you. Sorry, I can't parse words suddenly. Protean and new. Yeah, Protean new and weak.
Oh no, looks like there's only one of my little guys left now, though. A bunch of them, like, ate each other.
Yeah, they kind of got into, like, a breeding fight. Oh no, they're still over here. They're just under the water because they're so short. They're developing little, like, froggy eyes, too. That's interesting. They're, like, getting taller.
Yeah, so the this how much damage they can take and how much damage they do is based on how many pixels there are in their bodies. So there could be a evolutionary pressure for them to just start growing, getting bigger.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got
no!
some really big anims now.
Well, it's sort of been a trend for my world. Like, we've had, almost out-and-out cattle at one point. They were slow and not particularly perceptive. Oh, look! You've got antenna going on now. Like, these are really
It's sort of like
Namekian
trading
frogs.
Whopping anims like it's no big deal thing is incredible, I must say.
Oh man, if people were to draw their own trading cards for their anims.
Oh, that's really cool.
You need to make the export feature rather than
Like just a
be
Pokemon
the
card?
WAR. It's got to be a trading card now that like says some stuff about the anim.
That's too cool. I'm writing that down too.
Hashtag whimsy. Yeah, let's check out this little guy. What's he got going on? Tevir Hamanam, species of terrestrial animatroid with a good sensory perception and fast metabolism. Individual would prefer moderately dry environments and can be aggressive. So it's an herbivore. Like, I've really just thrown a sheep to the wolves here. It's a little stressed by how moist everything is, but it doesn't seem to be, like, hating it.
Did my guys die out? I think they did.
Yeah, I'm not seeing them. But the cool thing about exporting these creatures this way is that I can just make another one. Like, let's put them over on, like, the jet side instead of the sharks. Boop. Because they prefer, like, a moderately dry environment, don't they? Maybe we can coax them into liking a dry environment.
Yeah. Moderately dry is their jam.
Yeah, let's put, like, 2 down. Give them a couple opportunities to succeed. And let's just watch them develop. Oh, and we'll also put some herbivores down, like, across the way. I really like this idea that we can also, like, replenish the amount of life that we have total with this. Because, like, before I was worried about sort of running out, but, like, if I can just drag an image file in there, like, that makes it way easier.
I'm just kind of realizing that you could definitely just, like, export your own favorite creatures from your own game in this way and, like, just use that system to, like, reintroduce stuff that way.
Yeah, I mean, and with that, you can set up experiments then. You can actually open up a brand new map and not use the creature you're given, but just use the creatures you drag in.
Yeah, like, don't even open the critter crate. Just isolate something from one of your other petri dishes. Oh, look, your decoys have gotten wider over here, like, just immediately. It's also drying out to death, but, you know. Nope, dead.
You just never quite saw that water.
Yeah, I'm trying. They're really, really fast is one of the problems that I think you're facing here with us trying to get these guys to... Whoa! Look at that little boy!
I was definitely just thinking back to this whole, like, ability to use the export thing to sort of, like, exploit different facets of the system for experimenting. You could definitely, like, breed a whole island of critters and save some interesting ones and then create a whole new environment in the game, you know? Like, and, like, bring those same critters, see, are they still successful in this different environment, things like that. Like, there's definitely a lot of really interesting potential there.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go back to looking at chat. I'm really sorry. BRB engaging in genetic engineering via MS Paint. Now he's an omnivore. They've already cracked the code.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know, something that I spent a lot of time getting that code so that you could in MS Paint and drag them back in and see what happens.
That's really cool. You know, I'm gonna go on record here and say that if you want, like, some background art for the card, like, we should talk more. I feel like formatting that would be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. They talk. Super cool.
Oh, is there genetic information up there in that corner too? What happens if... Oh, that's what happens when I click that. Oh, that's how I get it. Oh, let me share back. Let me give back to the community.
Well, that's mine though. That's my Takoi Hamanin.
Right.
Share something that you developed, fool. People can already get that.
There we go. I got you that. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Share some. Oh my gosh.
Get Shrek'd.
Does that mean, oh, you could genetically engineer Zoms in MS Paint?
There we go. This guy's a cutie boy. He's amphibious, so put him somewhere wet.
Oh, I like that guy.
Yeah.
Cool one.
Boop. There we go. Oh, you got... Of course, my community is now sharing as dick monsters.
Oh, Vulcan, nice one.
We're gonna put one in here. There we go. I wish I can't see the code yet. Like I still see like green ones and zeros. I don't see like blonde, brunette, redhead. Oh, we should take it. We should inspect the little dick monster. Moderately dry, can be aggressive, fairly slow metabolism. Yeah, that's a dick. It's interesting. Does water only stack to 160 units in your pockets?
No, it should go all the way up to
the crafting table. Oh no, those are water bombs. I just don't have any space for it. Oh, okay, I'm an idiot. That's the answer to that question. So some of our guys here can attest that, like, that is the answer to a lot of the questions that I have.
once asked for a trash can, and that's that's definitely in the works.
That would be good.
Even if I could just get a tile, on, like a landfill tile that I could put an infinite amount of junk onto, like that would be cool.
Dig a hole and bury one thing at a time right now.
Yeah, well, I can pick them all up to stack them and put down a stack and then bury it all together, but like maybe having things live stack as I'm putting them down might be cool. Like combined junk.
Put everything into chests. Wow. I just fill a giant warehouse of chests.
All right,
like 20 chests full of junk.
All right, let's check on our weird other species because we've still got some living. We've got one more decoy. We've got 6 Tevier Hamanams. Like those are taken off. And then we still only have the one Wangus. Wangus Prime.
So I imported the Wangus monster into my game, and it immediately turned. It like lost its cojones immediately and turned into just a stick. Like in one evolution.
So you have to say. So my experience here, like I can't drag it from the browser. I have to save the actual file itself to a folder, which I have titled Vilmonsters, and then you just drag the image from your desktop onto the pane. You can see when the border turns yellow. That's when I've got a monster ready for the import.
That is just—it's such an incredible feature, I must say. It's
like
so great. Just
it's so
swap
easy.
I mean, it definitely makes me think of, like, hooking up the link cable back in the day and swapping Pokemon.
I will say, I feel like it kind of obviates the camera a little bit. I'm gonna save him. This guy's cute. There we go. I don't even. Let's see. This guy, he's an omnivore, terrestrial. Fairly slow metabolism, prefers a moderately dry, and is just regular aggressive. Here, Vox, import this cutie. Look at it. Look at how precious it is.
So, Wobbly, you just mentioned something. You threw something out. Great, that I totally need to do. You were saying that the export kind of ruins the need for that camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what I need to do is make it so that export button is on the camera, on the photo itself.
Oh, that would be rad, yeah.
So you need to make the camera before you can start exporting.
I feel like that'd be a good litmus test for new players, too. Like, if you can't figure out how to make a camera, like, why are you exporting mobs? Settle down there.
It's cool to make it into like a thing that involves an in-game tool. I think actually, I do like that.
Yeah.
That's been my kind of design goal. Is everything should be from within the world, as much as I can. So, I'm writing that one down. That's gonna happen.
Whoa! Look at how big these Goodfellas is. Click. Copy image.
After
Paste.
you said that everything should be in the world, like I couldn't help but think it would be kind of great in a way if the notepad didn't exist and you had to like build a computer.
That was another thing. You can dig up a bunch of old computers and things, and I was gonna make one of them work.
I noticed that they all look like Apple IIs and Commodores and things. I'm really enamored with that design choice.
Trying to look like old, 80s computers.
Gravy is noticing the atoms.
If you get a viable life form that you've edited in MS Paint, yeah, it definitely lists it as GMO.
That's incredible. Oh my god.
Also, I like this one. He's even plumper.
Pretty aggressive. That's a really aggressive one.
You can tell just by looking at the color bars?
Look at the brain, and you can see the relationships. More as much of that motion that's positive. The more positive it is, the more aggressive that one is.
Oh yeah, wide load is ready to take out the world.
That one's giant too, so it's pretty powerful. That one's gonna be a really good.
My Vilmonster can defeat your Vilmonster in a Vilmonster battle.
Yeah, that thing
Like a
is
tank.
terrifying, man. It like takes up a whole tile.
And I exported it.
I'd be really scared to import that to my game casually. I'd probably have to make a new game or something, just knowing that it's gonna wipe out whatever's there.
Really dangerous.
That is the actual face of death.
Look! Oh! Did you guys notice this? This one has the thirst makes it attract to motion, and stress makes it attract to motion. This truly is an apex creature.
Mm-hmm. We're definitely holding on to this. Like, oof, that's good.
Hunger is at 0.8, which is better than negative 0.9.
Oh, and
Right.
it's got a reasonable breeding cycle too. Oop, there we go.
But this guy like wants to fight big time.
Mm-hmm. But not so much so that he's like destroying his own environment.
Yeah. This like strip of land between the water works really well. And I've done some designs similar to this. And in fact, I actually did a little breeding pen that's basically like a brook edge. It's just like one edge of the breeding pen is water, and then the rest of it's dry, and that has worked really well. Like, just like spreading water around definitely works as one strategy, but just having like access to like a band of water is such a dependable thing.
I kind of wish when I exported them, the file name was the same thing as like their taxonomy. Like if I was gonna super
Trading
nitpick,
card.
yeah, that'll be some trading card material.
Should be. It might just be a browser thing. And like if you just save without doing the save as, the default name it gives will be the species name, the genus and species.
Oh, cool. So it already does that. Never mind. Disregard me.
try it. It could be a browser thing.
We need to have anim gladiator games. I'm into that idea.
Vilmonic opens Firefox, which I kind of forget I have installed until moments like.
So this Apex Predator, like, I'm letting it go pretty far.
Yeah, I'm super into anim gladiator games.
Me too. Oh, this guy even looks a little like a skull. Look at him. Like, he's a red skull anim that is tremendous with a bunch of aggression issues.
Oh, and that one's got a gigantic metabolism.
Whoa, and highly aggressive? That is like carnivore material.
Yeah.
Getting crazy.
Let's export him while I still got the thing. Copy image. Oops, not in promote yourself. This needs to just go in common.
How are you supposed to pronounce that name? Hamstockbiacus.
That's right.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Add Welshman back here to help us out.
Yeah. Somebody ping Welshman. I'm stuck be a quest. Oh man. This is so cool. Somebody K-Wave, do you have another interesting anim to add to our ecosystem here?
I mean, what do you want? Do you want an omnivore or an herbivore?
If I could get some more herbivores, maybe that'd be cool.
I have some really pretty decent herbivores going on right now.
I'm really enjoying taking them out of your like tightly controlled environments and just seeing how they adapt to the ones that are just present in this world.
Let's see, this guy's pretty.
Oh, look at you! You're cute! And omnivorous, please don't eat me.
They'll fight.
We've got these little cute buddies over here, as opposed to our like gigantors over in the west. Honestly, this export thing is way easier for me to like move a critter than to like hope that I catch the right egg and remember which one it is in my inventory.
You think that's too much of a cheat, then?
I don't feel like it's a cheat as much as maybe it's like an indication of like the weakness of the inventory in explaining what things are. Because we also have the problem with the mushrooms losing their taxonomic classifications and like their details once you pick them up too. They just become some green.
So you just want to be able to analyze them in your inventory directly.
Yeah, like if I knew what the egg came from specifically, like that would be a huge boon and would remove the temptation to use the tool without requiring that we modify it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll write that one down too. That's good.
Yeah, I feel like that one's less of a you know, baby with the bathwater thing as it is like just making sure that the other option is as viable. That one that you sent me is not very fast.
No.
It does not want to go towards stressing motions, so that's good. Like, hopefully it will survive all these omnivores.
Yeah, when it's stressed, it avoids motion and it seeks water, which is like pretty good survival behavior for an herbivore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's prey mentality right there. Run from danger. Be able to see very far to detect dangers far off.
Yeah, and it's small and has a really low metabolism, so it can live off of very little food.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. These were bred in my like kind of box canyon environment that I created, where things are very constrained and extremely dry.
Interesting. So I think it's being hunted a little bit by this guy.
It probably is. It's a freaking big old fat sack of prey.
Big old fat sack of meat. But it's doing a good job evading, you know, even being as slow as it is. It's
It's like I said, it's very motion avoided. That's part of why I picked this one. Is I thought it would be the most survivable in your current environment.
That was smart. You're a nicer person than I am. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna find food fast enough. It might die out. Oh no, it found food. It's just not liking all the company that it has, and it's causing it to engage in some.
There's no way to just directly kill an animal. You have to do it through environmental factors.
I can't hit it with a hammer? You haven't tried, have you? That silence.
I don't think it's possible, right? Maybe.
Nope, you totally can!
Oh.
I don't know why I chose your anim to bludgeon to death.
Yeah, why did you choose the experimental herbivore?
Don't worry, we fixed it. It's better now. I put the band-aid on.
You know, that's what those axes are actually for. You can use those to chop down mushrooms too.
Oh.
Interesting.
Just to kind of like clear them without filling my pants.
You can hack zombs with those too.
Oh. I feel like that's a dangerous idea.
Very dangerous thing.
Well, I do want to show off swarming at some point tonight. You know, we're getting close to like...
I think we should just wait till the very end of the week, you know, Friday night stream, and just destroy the place.
Where we burn the whole world.
Yeah, just like let the zombs out and burn the world down.
Mm-hmm. We're definitely going to revisit this too, like especially when your 1.0 update goes live. Like, I'm definitely coming back to this game.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh man, I should take a minute while we're letting the experimental herbivores like kind of loose up there, and while they're figuring out their own fate, I'd like to take a minute and talk about the schedule that we've got going on here. This Saturday, we'll be rounding up all of the images that we received from the art contest of like Mons and Fungals and Caretaker images and like captures and submitted monsters and like just all of it that you've posted at us and given to us, and we will be deciding who gets the key or keys depending on how many entries we get for that. I also am going to be checking out Speed Brawl again. We're going to be checking out the multiplayer with the assistance of Double Stallion. And also we have the Drawing Circus with Alexis Draws, who is live now, and Magic Jaffet. And so we have got a very populated Saturday. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on over here. So if you've got time in your afternoon to evening, like, by all means, come stick around. It's gonna get weird. I hope. After that, we've also got more stuff that I haven't even revealed yet. So that'll be in weeks to come, though. So stay tuned. Oh, geez. Irakwa Bay House is, wow, it is not happy where it is. What is stressing it out so much? Oh, the motion. It was weak and didn't want to fight. That's why it died.
It's also overhydrating.
Oh, is that what was happening to it too? Ah, dang. Oh, Mark, I wanted to ask you a question. Of all of the features that you could, like all of the ones that you were trying to get in, like, what is the thing that has caused you the most grief to get implemented exactly the way that you want it to be?
Oh man, that's easy. Any change to the biology in the game is insane to rebalance. You know, when I tweak these brains, if I make any change to that, it's seriously like weeks and sometimes months of just letting lots of sims go at like high speed to see where things evolve to get the ecosystems to kind of balance and be in a fun way where not everything just dies off immediately. That's nuts. The balance in this game is really hard.
So do you have any stories about like particular behaviors that you have accidentally caused?
Well, I mean, there's definitely like there are those where you're starting creatures. There was one where it had the fungs, the mushrooms, spread across the island in a wave that was really kind of cool. And I tried to recapture some of that, but like it would just spread away from your anims, and you did get this weird looking virus effect from them, and that was pretty cool, but fun game style.
Migrating fungus.
Yeah. It wouldn't reproduce in the same location, so they would just spread their spores and spread out kind of like a mushroom ring almost, but it was definitely not fun from the gameplay point of view, but really fun to watch.
Interesting.
And like the way that this is set up with everything is just these systems, and then I kind of let it go to see what happens. You get a lot of emergent stuff that's just not fun. so that's a problem.
So at any point with this, have you imagined what like your perfect world looks like for your anims?
Really, I think other people who play the game are probably starting to get better at that kind of stuff than I am. Like my thing is, when I'm developing this, I'm like, all right, the starting game can't be too hard, but it can't be too easy. And there was one time I made it harder so that people paid more attention to the anims. But that's kind of, I'm not really playing the game in the same way. I kind of look forward to once version 1 is out that I could sit back and actually truly play the game. But
I'm really looking forward to the stuff that you churn out on that too.
yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty much this is version 1, so there'll be a bunch of packs that come out after version 1. But this is, I've been saying it's feature complete, and then I, hang out with you all, and I'm like, oh, I should add a few things like pompadours.
I'm so stoked that that's there.
Some minor features coming, but this is pretty much the version 1. Change after our gameplay on Monday, I made a change to imprisoning zombs in the future.
Ooh.
Oh, FYI there.
I'm sorry, I have made a perfect caretaker. Like, I don't think I could literally do any better at any point ever than this thing that I have caused on screen. I gotta take a selfie.
Ridiculous looking avatars I've seen yet. It's good.
That's a good one. I like it.
Oh, come on, upload, darn you.
Well, gents, it's been enjoyable talking about one of my favorite games with both of you, as it has been for the last couple of nights, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this evening. I'll look forward to shooting the shit about Vilmonic again tomorrow, perhaps.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always fun to have you here.
Absolutely. It is a delight to have both of your guidance, especially considering it is both metered but polar.
Good luck with your continued experiments with this, these creature imports. I'm really excited to see what this looks like by the time I see it again.
I'm hoping that this east side can become something hospitable, but I feel like I might need to modify it a little bit further again. Because we've got a lot of dry land here, and I don't know if it's not causing tremendous problems. There we go. It's a little more reasonable. All right, I think
It's interesting
go on.
to see if anything evolves to kind of thrive in that area, because it does look pretty harsh.
I really want to have a few successful family trees. For some reason, like, having everything be Amdoom is bothering me on, like, some weird subconscious level. So I'm really excited to see, like, the Teviers and the Tikois, who have already split in 2 different ways. From Haminem to Hamdiram. Like, I would love to see multiple rosters going down there.
Yeah, I've had some suggestions. I have one person who's a biologist play this, and she suggested that I introduce a new genus in there. And so that, I need to kind of figure that one out some more to decide at what point, you should make that new genus kind of show up.
So, early on in the game, we got a creature crate. Is there a way to summon another one of those that doesn't involve, the apocalypse?
No. I did think about a way that you could actually just kind of summon to drop in a new creature, but yeah, if you have ideas there, I'm open.
Honestly, one of the ideas that I'm having on, like, the most basic level is just tying the drone dropping off the crate animation to the import function. But of course, me saying that is I am the most certain so much easier than that would actually be.
That's interesting. That might be a good idea to limit how kind of cheaty that might feel. If you drag one in and it's just like a little target where that drone is going to fly a new creature in, that's far slower.
Mm-hmm. Less
Down,
immediate
it might be
result.
a good way to balance that out.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit of experimentation.
That's a cool idea. I'm writing that one down too. I love it.
Those Tikois just are not making it in the wild. Like, Lion's creatures, or Canewave's creatures, are doing well in captivity, apparently, but, like, they are not handling nature very well. Have you already got a carnivore? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness! Now, did you make a carnivore, or did you make a carnivore box? This is important. Oh! Oops. I didn't want to do that. That was not on purpose. Oh, it evolved? Okay. Well, I'm not going to import it, because we're still on a journey here for a little while. The Tevier line is doing fine in isolation, so that's good to know. Awful stats, though. I feel like you have just presented, like, a gold foil Magikarp or something. Like, oh man, check it out, it's foil! Which sucks. 8 Hunger X Motion? No, that's carnivorous right there. Like, Hunger and Motion still have negative traits for a lot of my critters. Like, things are evolving to sort of just... They get hangry, and nobody wants to be around them at the office anymore. I'm really enjoying that all the creatures that you guys are posting are nowhere near things that, like, I had evolved. Coming from the Amdome family, everything that I've evolved has had sort of, like, this pyramidal shape to, like, vertical stick thing. So you guys posting, like, all these, like, super flat creatures and, like, perfectly circular creatures, like, it's a huge departure. And it's just showing that there's a tremendous amount of variety still to be found in the game. T. hampsonos is a species of terrestrial animatroid with a moderate sensory perception and a fairly slow metabolism. Individuals prefer a moderately dry environment and are highly aggressive. Do not eat. That would be terrible. I am not going to suggest that to you in any serious regard. I feel like this is an... Oh, the Teviers are having a problem. Those fungals, I think that I just need to keep throwing anims at them until they get better at growing. Because what keeps happening is they keep eating themselves out of house and home, I think. Alright. Well, we have reached a few new frontiers tonight. We have crossed the omnivorous barrier, and now all of the creatures ever are omnivorous. We have seen the beautiful potential of importing and swapping these little Vilmonic critters. We have seen some truly absolute units. But I think it's time to sign off and say goodbye. Mark, do you have any final thoughts on the night?
This world now is completely different than when we started, and it's kind of crazy to see. I think we are on the verge of getting some interesting carnivores, so that's a good goal for our next step, because it's violent right now. It's kind of fun.
It's definitely tumultuous as things are going on. So
Each other.
Oh yeah, they're having some fights here. Are there any, like, I'm gonna pause that just in case, so I don't accidentally evolve a carnivore while signing off. Do you think that there is a direction that this world could head the next time that we sign on tomorrow for a couple of hours?
You know, we could try terraforming it so that we create complete, like, extreme different biomes. We started to do that with a very marshland, like create an area that's almost all water and see how that kind of stuff goes. Some of those can be fun.
Okay, maybe we'll start trying to make larger but still harsh divisions between the world next time.
We could also, you know, if you're into it, we could start a new world, a smaller one, and see how challenging that is.
Okay, I'd be into that. Yeah. So next time we'll take a break from this world for Thursday night, because Thursday night's going to be a bit of a shorter session purely because my Friday starts a lot earlier. But I'll be able to give you guys more time Friday for us to incur the zompocalypse and just kind of burn it down. So we'll see how it goes. I'd like to thank everybody who turned out. I'd like to thank everybody who's been interested in the art contest and all the folks that are buying copies of this. Like, it is super worth the $10, and it is still growing. It's still changing. Like, by all means, engage with this. It is super cool. We will swap monsters later. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye for the night.
Everyone.